Hi, and welcome back to Focal Point AFR Talk. Brian Fisher is my name. Program Focal Point, the network AFR Talk. 888-589-8840. If you'd like to join the program, 888-589-8840 is the number to call. Let's grab clip number 4, Rob, if we can. One of the things that the observations that we have made over and over again is that socialism hurts the little guy. And I'm about ready to give you a couple of stories about how Obamacare is just drilling ordinary Americans. So from an objective standpoint, if you step back and look at this, you'd say, look, whatever the policy is that's hurting the little people and whoever is behind that policy, these are the people that really do not care about ordinary Americans. They don't care about middle class Americans because their policies are nailing them to the wall. And again, it's one of these weird things where progressives and liberals have everything completely upside down. They see themselves as the compassionate ones, the ones that are on the side of the little guy, the ones that are helping the ordinary Americans, when the reality is it's conservative policies that provide the opportunity for the little guy to get the help that he's looking for. Here's Nancy Pelosi talking about Republicans and their attitude toward the poor.
I asked a Republican friend why his party remained so opposed to extending the vital lifelines for struggling families and really hungry children. This colleague's response was telling in its blunt nature, and it's stunning in its honesty. What he said was, to the Republican caucus, these people you're talking about are invisible. And the Republican caucus is indifferent to them. Invisible and indifferent. This is just plain wrong. That is not the leadership the American people deserve, and it is up to us to demonstrate clearly how Democrats are different, that no American is invisible to us, and we will never be indifferent to their needs. We know and care about the needs of the American people.
Okay, there's Nancy Pelosi saying we're the party of compassion. We're the party that cares about the needs of the American people. The American people are not invisible to us. We are not indifferent to their pain and suffering. Now here, clip 5. This is a woman by the name of Donna Hillier. This is one of those little people that Nancy Pelosi says, we care about these people. We love them. The GOP hates these little people. They want to stomp on them. They want to grind them into powder. They're invisible to the GOP that are heartless people that don't care about anybody. Here's one of those people that Nancy Pelosi says she and Obamacare care so much about. Donna Hillier. Let's listen.
It is $645 approximately per month for the premium. The deductible is $12,700 a year, and that is also $12,700 for out-of-pocket. For us, we would have to spend over $20,000 before our insurance would kick in and cover anything.
Donna Hillier says for she and her husband, the cost of the plan would be more than the penalty, and the actual coverage would be minimal.
The way I understand it, our penalty would be about $480 per year. I mean, that is less than 1 month's premium. So to me, it makes more sense just to do the penalty.
So this one is an ordinary American, and the CBO confirms this, or IRS, maybe it's the IRS confirmed this, that the cheapest healthcare plan under Obamacare will be $20,000 a year, or the average, one of those two. Maybe it's the average cost for a family is going to be $20,000 a year. When you start adding up the premiums, you start adding up the deductible, and this woman says, look, the deductible for us is going to be $12,000 a year. You tack our premiums on top of that at $650 a month or whatever, times 12, that's $7,000-8,000 right there. We're at $20,000 before we get any help whatsoever. That's what this woman is saying. We got to spend $20,000 before anything in Obamacare kicks in. So what are we getting for our $20,000? We're getting nothing. So she says it makes better sense to us simply to pay the penalty of $485. But as Harry Reid would say,
there's plenty of horror stories being told. All of them are untrue.
That's Harry Reid. No truth to it. Here's an Oklahoma man who lost his insurance due to Obamacare. He now owes $100,000 in medical bills. An Oklahoma man, Washington Free Beacon, an Oklahoma man is facing over $100,000 in hospital bills because he lost his health insurance plan due to Obamacare. Lenny Hubbs, a healthy man, as his wife describes him, is a self-employed contractor who was previously on his wife's health insurance plan, can't be anymore because of Obamacare. Her employer announced that his employees would no longer be allowed to pay for their spouse's premiums. They could not afford to purchase health insurance. The good health insurance would have cost them $500 a month. They do not qualify for Medicaid, so he had no insurance. Became sick about 2 weeks ago. His lungs were filling with blood. They diagnosed him with pneumonia. He went to 2 hospitals to try to get treatment, had to have part of his lung removed, and now he and his wife are stuck with upwards of $100,000 in hospital bills due to Obamacare. But as Harry Reid would say,
there's plenty of horror stories being told. All of them are untrue.
Now here's from the CBS affiliate for Central New York, WTVH. An Oswego County man says he's on the hook for nearly $1,800 because St. Joseph's Hospital only deals with one insurance carrier when it comes to patients under Obamacare. Donald Webb, who is disabled, well, you talk about hurting the little guy. This guy is disabled. This is the one that Nancy Pelosi says the Democrats care about. It's the GOP that's heartless. Donald Webb, who is disabled and lives near Mexico, New York, says he went through the New York Health Exchange last year to sign up with MVP Health Insurance. That's the name of the health insurance broker or company, MVP. In January, he underwent 2 procedures to treat wounds on his leg at St. Joseph's Hospital Northeast Medical Center in Fayetteville. Webb says he showed the staff at the center, he's checking in, shows them his MVP insurance card. They say, MVP, you're good to go, no problem. It wasn't until recently that Webb found out that there was a problem. He did not know that on December 20th, St. Joseph's Hospital Health Center sent a letter to area healthcare providers informing them that it would only honor Excellus, another insurance company, as the insurance carrier for patients under New York State's health insurance exchange. Hospital would be out of network for Obamacare patients insured by any other company. So it says, I'm billed for $1,800 because St. Joseph's won't take my insurance through MVP, but I didn't know about it. I'm on a fixed income. I don't have the ability to pay this bill or the ones that are going to come. But as Harry Reid would say,
there's plenty of horror stories being told. All of them are untrue.
All right. Well, let's take some phone calls, 888-589-8840. Let's go to Michael in Columbus, Ohio. Michael, welcome. What's on your mind?
Well, thanks, Brian. Long-time listener, first-time caller. Thanks for having me on.
You bet. Thanks for calling in.
All right. About the downed aircraft, it's always been my opinion that people that scrutinize passports as you're coming into a country, they look pretty hard at them. I don't believe these alleged Iranians had any intention of entering the country with European passports. You're standing there, you're Iranian, you're standing there with a Swedish or German or French stolen passport, and you're expecting the guy at the counter to accept you at face value. I just was under the opinion that the checkers that look at passports really check them hard. I don't believe those 2 individuals had any intention of ever getting into China. I think they blew up the plane and it went down.
Well, it's interesting to me when you talk about the passport check, and I just did some international travel, went to Cuba and to some Caribbean islands. I went through customs or passport checks like 5 times. And,
right.
They always took a good look at my picture and my passport picture to make sure that they matched up. I mean, that happened everywhere I went. It might have, it wasn't exhaustive, but they would at least look at the picture. And these guys, these guys Iranian, they do not even look European. Here they are flying under European passports, I assume with European names, and maybe they took their own pictures and put them in there. There's no way these guys look European. They're Iranian, and they look Iranian.
Right, and China scrutinizes pretty tightly on foreigners coming into the country. I just have a hard time swallowing the fact that these 2 individuals actually were going to try to walk through a passport checkpoint in China. under the assumed identity of European. And I would like to know, there's been a lot of talk about the stolen passports. Where did they originate, and of what origin, nationality, let's say, where they generated from?
Well, I've got that information somewhere. It's in a story in the stack somewhere. They were European countries. I don't remember. They were different European countries as I remember. One was stolen in 2012. Another was stolen in 2013, which is kind of interesting all by itself. They, somebody got these two fake passports into the hands of these Iranians. Some Iranian businessman coughed up the money to buy their airline tickets at exactly the same time. The tickets are sequentially numbered. So obviously there's collusion here. Those three people all colluding together to get these two guys on the plane at the same time. And again, that may be absolutely perfectly innocent. Maybe their explanation or the explanations being offered, they were just looking for asylum in Europe. Maybe that's all true, but I got to tell you, it sure looks hinky to me. And so, Michael, your point is, look, they're going into China, and you're thinking is that they knew there's no way they're going to be able to be admitted into China. They land in China, the customs people, the immigration people are going to flag them right away. There's no way they're getting into China. No way they're going to be able to pass through China anywhere else. So you're arguing that that's sort of I don't want to call it a fact, but it's sort of a reality that would tend toward them guys having some kind of sinister plans with that airplane.
Exactly. And it is hard for a super a transcontinental jetliner to just evaporate. You go back through our record history, and we've had a lot of downed aircraft. They just don't up and disappear like this one did. So if it smells like a duck and it quacks like a duck, as your guest speaker said earlier, certainly cannot rule out any definitive options right now on what the outcome is going to produce. But I do believe that when they get a hold of a black box, I believe my hunch will be correct. But Brian, thank you for allowing me on the show. God bless this country, and I wish you much success.
Thank you, Michael, and I return God's blessing to you. Appreciate the call. Thank you for that. Focal Point AFR Talk, 888-589-8840. Back with more of your phone calls. Stay with us.